weird being in front of the camera like this. Because I sit in front of a camera to make YouTube videos, but when I'm in front of the camera like this, it's really weird. I'm Scott, I'm the in-house photographer here at Storeys, and I've worked here for around about a year now. Vicky's already here. Day to day, my role could be very different, which is one thing that I really like about it. So my main job involves going into all of the different houses that Ian and Phil have signed up after Vicky has been in to style them as well. So I'll turn up, get the cameras out and start shooting, trying to get every single angle that I possibly can so we can try and bring the house to life in all of the marketing. And then when people view the images, they can almost imagine themselves being in that space and living it. So Vicky's already been here for an hour or so before we get here. Mark and Phil are down there as well, chatting about a video. So they're doing pretty much the same as us, just getting a bit of a rough plan in place as the layout of the route that they're going to walk around. And I'll do the same if I'm doing video with Phil or Ian as well. So then we can try and plot our route around the house. Vicky's, like I said, had already been here. She's spent a lot of time making things look like a show home, I guess. Before turning up to one of the properties, I would typically have watched one of Vicky's walk around videos that she creates to send to the team so people know what to expect when they turn up on the day. And that helps me just get a bit of a plan in place so I know what to expect on the day. So if there's a lot of land, for example, or if there's a lot of different rooms with loads of different things going on, that we know we need to be styling things in certain areas or capturing from certain angles, it just helps me have a bit of a plan in place when I turn up on the day. So then we'll try and get it before the rain. So today we are filming a video of this house in, where are we, Tarpley? I think we're in Tarpley.
We're in Dudden.
We're in Dudden, which is near Tarpley. So Phil is just planning a bit of a script, and in a second we're going to jump outside to film the intro, hopefully before the rain comes, because it's starting to look a bit gloomy. Weather is quite a big thing that we have to take into account, especially on shoot days, because we live in the north of England, which means that we can't rely on the weather as much as we would like to.
All over the location grants easy access to Chester and Tarpley, and boast the most spectacular views of the Cheshire countryside. Let's take a look around. You remember that, right?
Yeah.
Phil, we might have to wait, mate.
When do you abort?
All I can see, because the sun's there, all I can see is rain. This is what it's like. People don't see this behind the scenes. They're always just filming videos in England.
Yeah. Here's the sun. Here's the rain.
If it does happen though that on a shoot day we turn up and the weather isn't looking great, we will come back and reshoot externals, because we want the property to look the best it possibly can do, showing it off in its best light, and poor weather isn't going to help with that. We don't want anything looking grey and miserable. We want it to stand out.
The planning commission is a great house, and it's a modern house, but actually you don't need to even do that.
So today I'm doing photos, but I still use two cameras. So I've got the Lumix S5 II and the Lumix S1 R2. That's my favourite camera ever. I absolutely love that.
How important is the gear? Is it important?
That is a whole rabbit hole that I could go on for hours about that. So gear is very, very important. Yes, there's no denying that. However, I think it's more important to have an understanding of how light works and how you're capturing the light. Because photography is light painting. If you don't understand how light works and what you're doing with your camera to be able to capture that and turn it into art, imagery, I think that's more important than the gear. But gear is still important. The wide camera, I'm using the 14-28. That allows me to get really wide shots of the rooms. And on this camera, I use a 24-70 f2.8, which allows me to get some nice close-up details and more lifestyle shots and isolate things to show things in a different way. Does that make sense? Is that alright? Is that too geeky or not geeky enough?
I think that's the perfect amount of geek.
Because I could go more.
I think that's perfect.
I want to go more. I'm refraining. Aside from all of the property shoots, I also have a lot of other ongoing projects that I'm working on behind the scenes as well. So we have our Storeys YouTube channel where I'll film Ian and Phil giving expert tips and advice on buying and selling properties. In addition to that, on our YouTube channel you can also find our monthly market updates where we'll talk about the local property market in Cheshire, and we film those in local businesses, so it's a really nice way to help us get out into the local community a little bit more and help promote other businesses as well whilst doing that. One of my favourite things to do is to create the mini documentary series that we have where we will follow a member of the team around, for example, as to what they get up to on a day-to-day basis, and it's something that we try and do as much as we possibly can, because I think it's probably one area that helps us stand out from other agents, especially in the local area, but I think a bit further afield to that as well, because it helps to just show the more personal side of us and that we are actually real people and we're not just estate agents. It helps create a more personal connection with the viewer of those videos and who you're buying and selling a house with. So this is a bit of a tricky one because there's a mirror in the corner of the room where I can see myself, so I don't really want to end up having to Photoshop myself out of that because that takes time and it's not ideal really. So basically I have to set up the shot, put it on a timer and leg it.
I'll move my self-recorder and you see you can leg it.
Like that. Job done. Photography was always of an interest to me, but I never really knew that at the time. So I remember going way back, my granddad having a nice camera and just taking photographs of birds in the back garden and then sticking them on the computer and messing around with early versions of Photoshop. My dad did a little bit of the same, so he photographed a few music festivals. I went along, so I always had that interest, but I got drawn more into the music world, and then through doing music and trying to put music out there, I started a YouTube channel, and then that got me interested in cameras and photography again. So I kind of did a full circle back to photography, and that is the best thing that I ever did because I'm obsessed with it now. YouTube over the years has grown into a massive passion of mine, and it is one of the best things that I have ever done. So it started off as a terrible music covers YouTube channel, but then as I got more interested in the camera world again, I started to put out photography tutorials and camera reviews and just starting to talk about gear, and it just grew over the years to a point now where I've managed to gain over 10,000 subscribers and work with camera brands like Lumix, and some of the opportunities that it has given me have been absolutely amazing and something that I never thought I would have the opportunity to do. And I think I'm very thankful for YouTube to be able to do what I do now full time. I think the thing that gives me the most job satisfaction is the fact that I get to do my hobby as my full-time career, and it's not lost on me the fact that not a lot of people are lucky enough to be able to do that, where they get to do what they enjoy the most for their full-time job.
So we've come to Hertford Golf Club, we're going to play paddle. There's 8 team members that have come tonight, so we're just trying to do a bit of a social, keep us fit and have some fun. No competitiveness at all.
I think it sounds a little bit cliche because I know everyone else has said this exact same thing, but it is the team. Everyone gets on, everyone is happy in each other's company, and we all get on to create the best work that we possibly can. But I think for me personally, working as a photographer can be quite a lonely thing. You do most of your work on your own. I spend a lot of time in these 4 walls in my home office making YouTube videos, editing photos, just thinking about photography. So to have the team at Storeys is quite refreshing because it gives me an outlet from working on my own as well, where we can go and have a laugh and work together on different projects. We just have a lot of team events as well because we all enjoy spending time in each other's company. So we're going over to Dublin for the day. There's just a lot of different things that we try and do as much as we possibly can, just to try and keep things as enjoyable as we possibly can between the team. I think the biggest thing that being a photographer has taught me over the years is that if you're ever thinking about doing something but you're not quite sure, that you should just go for it. And my YouTube channel for me is the perfect example of that, because I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now with Storeys without getting into YouTube and finding that love for photography again. There's a really good David Bowie quote where he talks about not feeling safe in the area you're working in. So if you do feel safe, you should always go a little bit further into the water than you feel capable of being. And if you're just about far enough so that your feet aren't quite touching the bottom, you're in the right place to do something special. And I always try and remember that, and I think that's a big reminder to me.